Hello everyone, welcome back to WB Blacksmithing. Today we're going to make a hook like this. It's at a 1/4 by 1 inch flat stock, 6 inches long. This is the starting stock size. And then we'll make this. Goes up hot checking. It's mild steel. Time we're done, you won't even be able to tell what happened. But anyways, right now I'm starting to make a taper on the end of this bar, and we'll split. That's where our hooks will be. Here. That's where my cut will start. Because here to here isn't really drawn out at all. I just chamfered the edges and punched a hole in it. So now we're good. We can put this in the fire again and start cutting from here down. And I'll show you what to do after that. Lay it anywhere specific on my anvil, so I'll find that little mark I made. Start with my hot chisel, going down, keeping it straight all the way here to the tip of this taper. I think this just makes it easier. Taper it first before splitting, because then I have less drawing out to do. Getting inside of that fork to taper the ends harder. Kind of just eliminates a little bit of the work. Go here to my water barrel, slack tub, whatever you want to call it, and pull out my chisel. There we go. But anyways, you might notice I'm using a hammer that I made. I really like this one. It's about 3 pounds, 10 ounces or so. I don't remember exactly. But the bill is started out at about 3 pounds, 15 ounces, I think. Oh, by the way, I'd probably recommend using gloves for this, but I destroyed mine and I haven't felt like buying any since then, because they always get torn apart anyways. But anyways, you can see I'm starting to split there, and it's really more effective in my opinion to start splitting down here first, then work the cut section, the split, all the way through up instead of the other way. With the chisel, we'll just go ahead. Should be able to finish this cut the whole way. There we go. Break that bit, and that bit, and that. Just ripping it apart, or cutting it apart. Ripping is not a good word for it. I knocked it off the anvil, but that's alright, because it's cut. And now, we'll go ahead and do our little courtesy bend here. Just knock one of these over the anvil so we can work on this one, and then I'll show you after that. Alright, now we'll do our little courtesy bend here. Start it over there and then come right here, hit this. This is how I do it. Makes it go up a lot further where they wouldn't like it to be. Now I just straighten this section out because it got bent a bit. Now, carefully tap that down some more. We don't want to tap it down too far because it's hard to get away from the parent material, for one. And we could put quite a bit of stress on here before it's ready to take stress. It's not good to put any stress in it. It's not needed anyways. this little tine, I guess you could call it. Basically what we're making is a fork here. Try to get the hammer, or the edge of the anvil, I guess, for this one, into this split here. That way we can get a nice rounded kind of ending of the split. That way it doesn't have any cold shuts or stress risers or anything to make it fail. We'll just draw this out some more. I'm going 100% by eyeball to make these two hooks the same, because they're going to the same person for a wardrobe thingy that needs a couple of double hooks. There we go. Now I'll round it out. And then that one, we'll do a courtesy bend, flop this one down again, and draw it out. But all we're going to do is take this little orange heat here, right at this part, right next to the split, right next to the split, and round it out. So we can get that little section that's the hardest to reach out of the way. Now, keep in mind, by the way, the heat might look different on the camera. I'm not sure. I haven't used this GoPro camera very much. But I was taking it from like a light orange, not really a yellow, and then down to a cherry red. Again, this is mild steel, and I can do that. Most efficient way to draw down. Now we'll knock the corners of that octagonal cross section piece down. Make it rounded. I'm choking up on my hammer handle, by the way. I do that more than I probably should, but it's instinctive for this, and it works for me. So now I've got this little tiny bit that's not completely rounded out right down here, and I'll fix that. Now I'll go to this thinner little bit of my anvil, just because my anvil face is so wide. So I'll go here so I can, you won't have to worry about this on your anvil, but I need to be able to get this tip of this taper right at the edge of the anvil without hitting it like this. So that's why I do this. But if you have like a normal sized 100-pound anvil or whatever, you won't have to worry about that. Could do it right here too into the hardy hole, but I'd rather not. Just don't pay attention to that too much. But there you go. There's one of my tines rounded. Not bad. So now, flop this down, flop this one where it needs to go to get out of the way. Then we'll work on the other one. Okay, now I'll just hammer this down, kind of strategically, I guess you could say. Get it back down where it needs to go. Now it's all flattened down, straight. And we'll go ahead, bend this one forward, which is actually where it needs to be whenever this hook's done. It needs to be in this direction. Now we'll just hammer it outwards a bit, get it out of our way more. There we go. Straighten it up. And there we go, ready to draw out this second one. There we go. Just knock this away a little bit so we can get into that a bit more. Right here. There we go. Now we'll just go in for another heat and draw it out again. Probably get 3 more heats on this time by the time it's all rounded out. Okay, another heat. Draw this out some more. There's a little step shelf type area on my anvil, just for the reason that I mentioned earlier. Now I'll go in. Now we got our whole time heated up, like the first one. That's alright. We're still just going to round out this little section here. In near the split end and a couple inches outwards. There we go. Whenever we're done, we'll take a little bit of time and file out the little jagged sections from the splitting. That'll happen pretty much no matter what you do whenever you're splitting something like this. And now we'll round out the rest of this with our last heat on this time. Down our corners off of the square cross section. Get a better grip. We're going to be spinning this around 360 degrees to get it all rounded. Choke up a little bit more just so I can get light, quick blows without tiring myself out and accidentally hammering too hard. I don't want too much leverage here. Obviously, it depends on the hammer you're using. You could probably would be better to switch to a smaller hammer for most people. But there you go. This one will be the last heat. Oh, gotta go over here so I don't mar up my anvil face at all. And there we go. And now I'm just going to go ahead and match that tine up to the other hook. Right, now I'll go in the hardy hole. This will be easier if you have a smaller hardy hole than 2 inches round, obviously, with this size of steel. But now I'm going to go ahead and straighten it out. Use the radius edge of my anvil to, one, split these out into like a 45-degree angle, and then hammer in and make sure that it's rounded out here. Now I'll go ahead and do the same thing here. There we go. And it's still final will be necessary. This is a good word for that. So now, just knock this out over there a little bit. they have to go inwards some more, but I'm going to bend them and then make them go inwards because it's just easier that way for me. But I'll be right back. Now over the horn, hopefully you can see this. There is no thing on the GoPro to see. Could use my phone, I guess, but I'd rather not have my phone out the whole time looking at the view of the camera. Now I have my little brush here. I don't use the butcher block brush. I know those exist, but I've never used one, and as you can see, there's no scale on my steel. So now I'm going to just compare this to the other hook. So the beginning is good, but I have to open it up a little. That I didn't put the little scroll on the end whenever I started this, and that's because I never do. I always just prefer to go ahead. I have to go to the heel of my hand. We'll get this out of the way. And I prefer to use my little scrolling tongs that I made like 2 years ago. They suck, but they work. So that way I don't have to put my little scroll in before doing the bend, and then I don't have to worry about hammering it. And it just ends up the same anyways. So there we go. I've got my one hook done, except I still have to open this a little bit, so let's go ahead and open that. Pair here. Now I have to hammer right here a little tiny bit anyways. Alrighty, now I'm just going to go ahead and bend this thing, this other tine here, and make it go where it needs to go. Open this up a bit. This one I can already see is not open quite as much as it needs to be, and now it looks much better. I'll go here, brush it off a little bit. The heat up to this orange color, and then a little bit down here. Now we'll just tap it. Go to the heel here. There we go. Use this heel again. Make sure that's all in line. And there we go. So now I'll heat it up right here and move those inwards where they need to go. So real quick, I'm going to tell you, I went over the other anvil. I did this with the first hook too. The other anvil is only 132 pounds and it has a much smaller horn in diameter, so I can use it to get in here, and I just stick it on there on the thinnest part and hammer it on the top of this stock, and that way I get a rounded area in there. And now I'm just going to heat these up and use my tongs and just bend them outwards so they point forward, like out this way, instead of like this. So I'll be right back. Pulling tongs again, we're going to bend these out like I want them. A little bit more with these. This one here. Now I'll go over here and see my other hook, so I can see that this here is not quite correct. So I'll be right back. And there we go. I'm not quite sure yet how much of that I'll cut out, but I just went over to the other anvil again and hammered them strategically to get them where I wanted them to go. This one still, because the other anvil also has a pritchel. This one only has two 2-inch Hardys, so that's not going to work. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and start on this side. Four little taps there. Now I've got still an orange heat, letting you know, just since I'm not sure how the heat will show up on your end. So now I'll go, I can see my little silhouette there of where I punched through on the other side. And now it's out. And we've got a clean round hole. We don't need to drift it out any bigger than this, because it's just going to be for a screw. This is the anvil I repaired, by the way. It had a big chunk missing out right here. I don't know if I showed you guys that before yet or not, but I'm going to go back to the other anvil, because now I only got to do the little round punch, or the ball punch in there to make a countersunk hole, and then I'll do the little chamfers on both sides for flat. Alright, now we've got some heat here. We don't need a lot of heat to do the chamfers, so we're going to start with the countersinking part, which we don't necessarily need a lot of heat for this either, but I'm going to make sure to twist my punch here, just in case there's any irregularities, and I get a evenly round countersink hole. We'll dip that in the water so it's not too hot. And now we'll grip it as low down as we can. Take it right over here. Put our little chamfers in. And there we go, our little hook. Do a little wire brush, and I'll file that and stuff off camera, because I think this video is long enough just for a little hook like this. And there's not really any scale down here anyways. So you can see, just try to show you the little bit of jaggedness right here. Right in here there's a bit, which I'm sure you can see. But there's our hook. Our double hook from 1/4 by 1 inch flat stock. It's 6 inches long. Now I have a couple of knives to harden. I gotta put my touch mark in this after I'm done doing the other stuff to it. Now I gotta coat these both, and that'll be a smallish order done, because he only needed 2. But anyways, thanks for watching and subscribing. Here, I'll bring this back with the other one. But thanks for watching and subscribing. I will try to make more videos soon. Bye.